Good morning. This is the National Weather Service here in San Angelo, Texas, with your weekly weather briefing. If we take a look at some of the key points for this upcoming week, you'll notice that we're going to have a pretty active weather pattern. This will pose a variety of concerns across the region, which will include fire weather concerns as well as very strong sustained winds here on Tuesday, as well as a potential for strong to severe thunderstorms overnight tonight. And then for the later half of the week, we'll see a little bit nicer weather overall, but we will still have another cold front that'll come through, which will keep temperatures going up and down through this upcoming weekend. In fact, if we look at the big picture here, you can see here on Wednesday and Saturday, you'll notice that some significantly colder air is going to be moving through the region. We'll have high temperatures up around 64 versus 82 on Monday. So if you take a look at Saturday, we'll have even colder high temperatures. Highs across Abilene will be right around 60 degrees. San Angelo will be 64. So Wednesday and Saturday we'll have some pretty significant cool downs compared to previous days there on Monday and Friday. So bottom line, temperatures will be up and down through this week. If we continue to look at the big picture, but this time with respect to the precipitation chances, really the main cause for concern is going to be late Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's when we should see some scattered thunderstorms that'll probably merge into a little bit of a broken line as they move east across the area. So rainfall totals are generally looking to be right around a tenth to about a half of an inch with this activity. And as we're going to detail in the next slide, some of these storms may be strong to severe as they move through. But for the rest of the week here, Wednesday through Saturday, rain chances will remain pretty limited during that time frame. So here's some more specific details regarding those thunderstorms overnight tonight. Again, we're going to see some isolated to scattered thunderstorms that'll continue to develop in the overnight hours, and eventually it'll kind of organize all those cells into more of a broken line as they move across the region towards the east. In the locations on this map here that you see in yellow, those will be the areas that are going to have the highest likelihood of seeing this severe weather. Areas in the dark green are going to be the next most likely areas that you'll see severe weather as well. So with respect to the specific timing, we're generally thinking that between about 11 p.m. through about 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, that's really the window that we're looking at seeing this activity. And with respect to the hazards, pretty much just about everything in the severe weather spectrum is possible with this event. We're looking at damaging winds, large hail, and an isolated tornado being possible. So this is definitely something to keep in mind as we go through the next 24 hours. But otherwise, continuing to look ahead into the afternoon hours on Tuesday, the severe weather will be off to our east by that point, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have any additional weather hazards. In fact, Tuesday afternoon, we're going to see some pretty significantly strong winds across the region. We're looking at a map here that has, the predicted wind speeds for various hours throughout the day, and you'll notice on that map that between about noon and 3 p.m. is when the worst conditions will settle into place before they back off here during the evening hours. But these strong sustained winds in the 30 mile per hour range with some wind gusts up over 50 miles per hour, that'll create conditions that could potentially even create quite a bit of blowing dust across the region. So these winds are definitely going to be a little bit of a concern here as we continue on Tuesday afternoon. In addition, the other issue that we're going to see on Tuesday is that these very strong breezy winds will also combine with afternoon humidity values that'll fall to the 10 to 20% range. So those dry winds will definitely create some conditions that are favorable for wildfires or controlled burns that become out of control as they develop. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially for locations that don't receive as high of a rainfall total from the early morning rains. But as we go ahead and continue to look at the drought summary here, you'll notice that the worst drought conditions across the region are going to be across the southeastern portions of our area, where we have some areas of severe drought. The majority of our area is going to be either abnormally dry or just have moderate drought at this time. So I'll leave this image up here for a few minutes for you to take a closer look at. Otherwise, here's a quick outlook for the temperature and the precipitation. You'll notice in the 6 to 10 day time frame, generally speaking, we're leaning towards being above normal temperature wise, and with respect to the rainfall, we're looking at conditions that will probably be more favorable for being below normal across our portion of Texas. And with that, that's pretty much all we have for you for today. So I'll go ahead and change slides here and leave you with our contact information as well as the date and time for our next briefing. As always, thanks for tuning in. We hope everyone has a wonderful day.